Palworld, the game that every streamer is playing right now and no one will shut up about. A game on the service that looks like Pokemon, but plays like an open world shooter, where not only you can catch and train pals, but also have them do slave labor. I mean, do you guys see a government around here? Yeah, I didn't think so. Wow, a game about enslaving countless animals to do my bidding and free labor? That shit sounds awesome! Sign me up, please! So, if you're living under a rock or staring blankly at the screen not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about, Palworld is an open world survival game where you can catch pals, kinda like that one game, with the premise being you can put them to work. You can make them mine resources to build your base, give them guns, or have them make you guns, or use them as meat shields. That's not even a joke, you can literally use the pals as meat shields. Who thinks of this shit? It's even worse that you can also use a knife to butcher your pals. Like, where's Peter when you need them? So, what do I think about this game? Why do you ask? This game is addicting, yet I hate myself because of it. Because whenever I play Palworld, there are a lot of flaws I could point out in this game. But that doesn't mean this game isn't fun. What really carries this game the most is the artillery, aka give monkey gun. From AKs to some machine guns, flamethrowers, and even a grenade launcher. How about catching actual humans? Yeah. Real slavery. The Geneva Convention, I like to think of it as the Geneva Suggestion. So with the selling point being Pokemon with guns, let's just point out the obvious. This game has a lot of bugs. The physics in this game can be a little wonky at times. Certain bosses will just get soft-locked into a corner or something or behind a pillar. The human enemies will start shooting you and they will just stop or just run in the opposite direction. A lot of the times the AI just doesn't know what to shoot at, so they'll just end up standing there menacingly. A lot of the early bosses are just bullet sponges, so you spend so much of your time and effort trying to weaken the boss low enough so you can potentially catch it, or just kill it on accident. The map itself is quite massive, a bit too massive. At least to the point where there are just empty areas, nothing but grass, trees, no pals or even enemies to be seen. And I know this is a given since it's an open world survival game, but why is this game such a grind? Like, the first gun you can craft is a musket, and you can't even do that until you're level 21. So unless you like games like Valheim, Subnautica, The Forest, as well as having $40 to spend, I mean, be my guest, some people might enjoy this game more than others, and some people just want to get a good laugh out of it. Now, don't get me wrong, this game can be enjoyable at times, and it's most enjoyed when you're playing with friends in my opinion. With friends, this game can be a lot of fun, and just makes the experience that much better. And how can we forget the soundtrack? I don't like it. It's not bad, but it's not great either. And I'm not trying to be like the Anthony Fantano when it comes to video game music, but this soundtrack is boring. It's just, there's just no soul. There is literally nothing memorable about the soundtrack. It is bland, unoriginal, bombastic, for no reason whatsoever, by the way, for no reason, and makes me wish I had a lobotomy. I mean, JFK's sister did. And if anyone even likes the soundtrack, or even if it's just bearable to listen to, then you might as well have no fucking ears! And I know Palworld is a game built upon satire, but there's such an amalgamation of things thrown into this game to a point where I feel like there's nothing memorable about it. It's another Pokemon clone with the premise of guns. That's it. Now, with the overwhelmingly positive reviews that this game has been getting, there's also been some drama about how this game may or may not have been plagiarizing a global phenomenon, as well as the use of AI technology confirmed by the developer of Palworld, who has confirmed the use of AI in the past. However, there's not really enough evidence to confirm this, but at the same time, I'd probably speculate that being the case. For example, did you know that there is a day and nighttime cycle on the bottom left of the screen? Kind of like Breath of the Wild, or these boss battles that you can teleport to if you interact with them, or how there are dungeons where you fight your way through goons and other pals that are trying to attack you until you make it to the final room where you fight the boss in. Kinda like Elden Ring. Even the character menu is straight out of Ark Survival, like come on, you didn't even try to hide this one. It's one thing to be inspired by other sources of media, and it's another thing to copy someone's homework. Obviously this isn't a new revelation. A lot of games tend to take inspiration from other games. Pizza Tower takes a lot of its inspiration from the Wario Land series, while sprinkling Sonic-like elements into the mix, giving the player the greasiest and cheesiest moveset in a 2D platformer. From the tight precision controls, to the 90s cartoon art style straight out of MS Paint, and the unfathomable strives that make Sonic the Hedgehog look like Franklin the Turtle. It gives me hope that Italians are real and not just a bunch of mythical creatures. Lies of P is probably the first Souls-like ever to nail that FromSoft formula, while still adding their own unique mechanics and variety of weapon combinations. The parry from Lies of P is the same as Sekiro, with the exception that the parry window is a lot tighter, forcing to be more precise with each time you perfectly block incoming hits from enemies, as well as telegraphing the boss's movements. With its horrifyingly unsettling yet charming aesthetic like the eldritch horrors of Bloodborne, it creates this dark, perilled world of Pinocchio as you fight your way through the puppet frenzy, ultimately deciding the fate between humans and puppets, bringing you closer to seeking the truth behind it all. You either choose to lie, becoming more human than puppet, or obey your masters and only tell the truth to seal your fate. Games like Undertale and Omori are so similar but differentiate so much from each other in both their gameplay and storytelling. You decide the fate of each character as the game tests your morality. You either show mercy and spare the lives of these crucial characters to continue through the story, resulting in a fulfilling narrative, or burn the world's ash as you massacre every living, breathing organism while showing no remorse or any worldly attachments, resulting in a very dark yet hollow ending. And while Undertale is about these crazy and abstract characters, Omori goes into a different approach. Omori is a game that pushes the player to piece the puzzles together to what seems to be almost a blank canvas. In this colorful, vibrant fantasy that Omori has built for himself, you learn that there's more of what lies beneath the surface of it all. And no matter how ugly or horrifying it gets, we all must persevere and accept the truth. This game is beautiful with its pastel art style straight out of a coloring book, as well as a compelling storyline that will have you shed a tear by the end of it. Or how about a game like Knuckle Sandwich that has Earthbound-like elements with its trippy visuals and pixelated art style, while having little microgames sprinkled through its battle sequences like WarioWare, making this game feel like an acid trip. All these games take inspiration from other games before it, but still adding something new and fresh rather than feeling familiar. Now, is it safe to assume that Palworld stole a lot of elements from these popular games without really changing or adding anything new to the mix? I don't know. I would like to think that the developers wanted to make something genuine and not just some cash grab, but I'm in this constant state of limbo where I think this is a good game, but I can't help to feel like there's something wrong with it here. Like, it's almost as if I feel dirty for playing this game. Like, there's no crypto scam or goblin NFTs embedded into the fucking walls, or
this game is dog shit.
That's the problem, is that there is no problem with this game, yet everyone points out the elephant in the room. Oh, this is just a Pokemon game with guns. Definitely not gonna tell Big Daddy Nintendo about this. If Nintendo were to take legal action, they would have done that by now. But nope, people want to keep talking shit about it and calling it a blatant ripoff of Pokemon, which it is technically, but it's kind of funny. Now, who are these people I'm referring to, you may ask?
Again, you gotta stop asking!
Look, all I'm saying is, even with its imperfections, I would choose this over this. Like, what is this? What am I looking at? I think Palworld is a good game. I don't think it's a perfect game by any means, but I think it's something that anyone can pick up and instantly get addicted to it. It's a game that doesn't take itself seriously, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be. The concept of Pokemon with guns is hilarious and so outlandish to me, yet it works in a game like Palworld, because unlike Nintendo, Palworld does what Nintendo don't: make good games, as well as making this game somewhat accessible to people like myself, who don't even own a Nintendo Switch.
I'm not paying full price for that shit! Fuck off!
I hope this game gets more updates in the future, and I want to see how this game evolves later down the year, because unironically enough, Palworld does have the potential to do so, and I think with some fixes with bugs here and there, as well as additional content with things like PvP, I think Palworld is on its way to becoming something special. A diamond in the rough built upon satire. And with that being said, let's talk about the best game to ever do it. Super Buster Move on the PlayStation 2.